Hello, everyone. My name is Braun. I lead product management and commercial strategy here at NGINX. Today with me, I have Mona Khabazan, Director of SaaS, and I have Nina Forsyth, Director of Plus and Platform. Today, we're going to talk to you about our role in inspiring your journey with NGINX. So we're going to start off by talking about who we're working for and how we see their journeys. I actually see this as two journeys, although they're not mutually exclusive. The first journey is one that many modern developers are taking today. The question is, what do I mean by modern? Well, the focus is on accelerating software delivery. Containers are generally the unit of deployment and mostly orchestrated by Kubernetes. Infrastructure as code is enabling CI/CD automation. You have freedom to choose the best tool for the job, and discourse and activity is generally taking place in open source communities via meetups, message boards, contributions, and the like. The other journey is your journey with NGINX. And that journey is starting as a new user or a new developer with NGINX, progressing to a developer that is more sophisticated, and then all the way to an individual that self-identifies as platform ops, and that's someone that's usually delivering delegated self-service to internal or external development teams with anything from basic to advanced use cases. I should also mention that we work for SecOps as well. They're really a key stakeholder in overseeing governance and setting up policies. So let's dive into a developer that's new to NGINX. It goes without saying that incredible documentation is not only critical to getting started, but it's also going to be your best friend throughout your journey. We love all the incredible documentation all over the web, particularly our own, and shout out to the DigitalOceans of the world as well. Documentation is something that always requires continuous improvement. So you've done your install and you've seen your Welcome to NGINX page, but you want to know more. You want to know that your configurations are as they're supposed to be. And you want to see your NGINX instances really come to life by viewing key dynamic monitoring data. And you also want to find the people that are just like you who are getting started. And you really want to find people that can show you the ropes and help you accelerate your learning curve with NGINX. So now you're a developer that has learned NGINX, you become a sophisticated user, and you're really looking for resources to gain a complete understanding of NGINX Conf for all the different use cases and specific optimizations that you need. And now that you've become pretty handy with NGINX, you've done some work that you feel is actually worth sharing. Maybe you wrote an MQTT extension in NJS that you need for your smart pet feeder startup. And you know that it could also be useful for anything from a smart thermostat to connected cars. So you decide to share it with the entire NGINX community. Maybe after many, many months of going from spec to prototype to MVP release candidate, you're finally ready to launch your smart pet feeder startup. And you know that in the US alone, there are over 90 million pet owners. So it's time to scale that back in. All right. Now that you have a solid mastery of NGINX, you can serve the demands of your internal and external development teams looking to scale and secure their apps powered by NGINX. Beyond delegated self-service that's simple to use, enabling devs to shift left while increasing velocity, you still want to have a complete set of services, including security with things like authentication, WAF, and denial of service offerings. You also want to make certain that you've covered a range of NGINX configurations, whether it's being deployed as a load balancer, an API gateway, a reverse proxy, or a content cache, or any of the other use cases that NGINX is good for. As you can see, we're focused on delivering value to developers through free and easily accessible tools and services right out of the box. Today, Mona Khabazan, Director of SaaS, is going to talk about bringing your NGINX experience to life with Amplify. Take it away, Mona.
Thanks, Eric. In this segment, I would like to start with the current state of NGINX Amplify, which is a real-time monitoring tool that enables you to proactively analyze and fix problems related to running and scaling NGINX-based web application. To start, you will need to install an agent on all hosts that you want to monitor. NGINX Agent is a compact application. Its role is to collect various metrics and metadata and send them securely to the backend for storage and visualization. Then the agent will automatically start reporting on these metrics. Let's begin with the overview page. This page is intended to show you the most important metrics. The first one is the application health score. The score is a compound metrics because it looks at your entire environment. You can also go to various deployment to look for what you want at a more granular level. Then here we also have total requests, HTTP 5xx errors, request time in percentile 95, traffic, and CPU usage, all available in different intervals. For instance, let's switch to 1 week view. Next, I want to show you the graphs. You can list for all the instances on the left and filter for the one that you would like to investigate. Here, I only have one, so I work with this one. You can see that we collect system-level metrics such as CPU, memory, and disk usage. Then under NGINX tab, you can also see application metrics such as connection, requests per second, or HTTP errors. Let's dive further to HTTP errors here. You can send them to a specific dashboard or create a new dashboard from right here. For this demo, I sent it to my dashboard that was created before. Now let's look at the dashboard tab. Initially, I had 3 metrics here. Now I have 1 more, and the format and display are all customizable. We offer a new set of grouped together metrics that are most interesting. They are connections and requests, performance, HTTP response codes, system metrics, and network traffic. By grouping these metrics, we believe one of them is probably what you're looking for. Let's select one to be added to my dashboard. You can always customize your view further. Let's try a new graph. Again, there are many built-in metrics to select, but let's search for HTTP status 403 as an example to add and monitor. Now let me navigate to Alert tab. Let's go ahead and create a new alert for 5xx errors. Then I add my email to keep an eye on it. By navigating to notification, you can also integrate with Slack for receiving notification via Slack as well. Finally, let's jump to Analyzer tab. Here it shows you some basic things such as static analysis that are taken from our best practices for doing configuration over years, for making recommendation to engineering support or professional services. Finally, let's jump to Analyzer tab. Here, it shows you some basic things such as static analysis that are taken from our best practices for doing configurations over years to make recommendations to engineering, support, or professional services. So let's look at Analyzer config on this instance. Here you can see that he's missing default server in this specific location. In Analyzer tab, you can also have a view of your SSL or search for any major security issues if you have any. To summarize this demo, on the current state of Amplify, this is a very powerful tool helping you visualize and identify NGINX performance bottlenecks, overloaded servers, or potential DDoS attacks. Improve and optimize your performance with intelligent advice and recommendations. Receive notification when something is wrong with your application. And finally, plan for web application capacity and performance to keep track of the systems that are running NGINX. Now that you saw the current state of Amplify, let's talk about our vision for the future of Amplify. We want to evolve this service to be more informative by providing you meaningful insight and analysis. For example, we want to offer you an easier way to access and manage dynamic modules within Amplify, where you can view and install community and partner ecosystem modules, as well as modules created by the NGINX team. We will have links to NGINX community forum. You will be able to see community Slack, as well as go straight to all the documentations. Going back to dynamic modules, we are envisioning a future where you can easily discover community modules, engage with them, rate them, or view their source codes. You are able to submit dynamic modules to be added to Amplify. We will have a separate process for partners to get their modules certified and added there. Finally, we are excited about our road ahead, and we'd love to hear from you and understand what you like to see that will help you with managing and monitoring your NGINX open source instances. Let's continue this conversation. Back to you, Eric.
Thank you, Mona. Now that you're up and running and ready to scale, I'm going to introduce you to Nina Forsyth, Director Plus and Platform. Nina is going to share an exciting announcement, and then she's going to walk you through some product developments to help you manage your NGINX fleet. Here you go, Nina.
Thanks, Eric. This is Nina Forsyth, and I'm one of the directors at NGINX, and I'm going to talk to you about scale with automation. When we talk about scaling with automation, there's several things that come to my mind. Like, how do I make sure what I push out through automation actually works and is valid? How do I know if there are any errors or if clients are able to make connections? These are just a few things that I want to make sure are working when I have apps automated. And so in order to do this, we found a technology that has worked quite well for us in order to extend the management plane, and that's called NGINX Agent. And I'm excited today to announce that NGINX Agent will be moving to open source. And so you're probably wondering what that means. And so when we look at what capabilities NGINX Agent can do, a few of our products are built with NGINX Agent. One of those is NGINX Instance Manager. And I'm going to do a quick demo of what NGINX Instance Manager can do for you. So this is NGINX Instance Manager. And Instance Manager allows you to do things like manage your NGINX configuration, view metrics, have events, and all of these different functionality that we offer in NGINX Instance Manager are because of NGINX Agent. And so let's walk through a little bit of what we can do with the functionality that NGINX Agent brings to the platform. So let's take this open source NGINX instance, and we can see several different statistics and metrics in here, in addition to all the disks that this instance has available to it, partitions, network interfaces. All this is being reported thanks to NGINX Agent. We can also get information about the metrics, so things like CPU used in the last minute, or we can even compare it against the last 24 hours. So we can see that someone been using this instance a lot more often. So like if we were to push a new app out, we might wonder why CPU is up 34% on this new application versus the previous day. And so we can get all that information and we can pull it from the agent, and you guys can make the decision to create your own management plane in order to view this kind of metric information. And then we can also drill into it more. We can see the CPU over time and view the metrics over a longer period of time also. And so all this is available thanks to NGINX Agent. So in addition to metrics, we can also edit the configuration and push the config through the agent. So let's say in here, we want to change the keep alive timeout to 300 seconds instead. So I could change this here, and I can see what keep alive timeout is about. And when I publish this, the agent itself will go ahead and it'll check to make sure this configuration is valid. And if the configuration is valid, it'll then reload the config and apply. So I can go ahead and push that, and I can see down here that the config was successfully published. And so now the configuration is active and valid. So if I were to come in and reload this page, I would see that my keep alive timeout is now 300 seconds. So all of this has been enabled thanks to the agent. And if you want to know more about how NGINX Agent works, I would encourage you to check the sprint agenda for the agent breakout. Our lead developer, Oliver, will be walking you through several demos to talk about how this all works and how you can utilize the agent on your own internal management plane. So that was a quick demo of what NGINX Instance Manager can do with the NGINX Agent. And I'm going to pass it back to Eric, who will walk through what else we might have planned.
Thank you, Nina. As you may imagine, we're working on a lot more that we look forward to sharing in great detail in the future. For now, I'm just going to leave you with a few highlights. In the data plane, we will soon be releasing support for Quick, and we are increasing our investment in Unit, which includes increasing our engagement with you, the community, for guidance and contributions. In the management plane, we have recently launched NGINX Management Suite, focused on scale, security, and governance, as well as meeting the specific needs of use cases such as API Gateway with our API connectivity module and many more modules to come. For Kubernetes, a big focus area is security, where we will be releasing service-to-service encryption and MTLS support. And last but not least, we will continue to deliver the NGINX software that you've all grown to love as a service to provide full lifecycle management and native integration with other cloud services. Keep a watch out for NGINX for Azure, where we moved into public preview in May, and we're working towards a GA announcement. That's it for today. Thank you for all your time, and enjoy the rest of the show.